I had a feeling things were about to start soon. I was like, I'm gonna start now. I haven't seen the lobby yet, but it appeared right as I pushed that opening button, so I have pretty good timing sometimes, but g'day everyone, I'm your host V-Line Bus, and this is getting alarming. I've had 2 streams. I've casted twice now within, 3 times in a single 3-day period, so that's concerning to say the least, but I'm here again. I've got a lot of Division A this week, it's turned out. I casted Division A 2 days ago, today, and I've also got Division A tomorrow, so it's going to look like I'm biased towards Division A, but they're also the only ones who have casted in the weekend, who are playing in the weekend, I should say. Which means I'm inherently going to have bias towards those games. So, g'day. I see the first game with Dragonshy. I wonder when he'll get it started, though. Well, we're still waiting on one. It's going to be, like, the big thing. We are missing one player from the lobby currently. I know Gen.M said that they have their player. He's just coming late. So they will hopefully be here shortly. They still have 15 minutes to get here, so that's fine. But yeah, in general, just to go over what was happened so far. We did do a coin toss, and Gen.M Esports won coin toss and went, okay, we're going to take first pick. So Matt Ban went over to... So Matt Pick is on the side of Hot Stads. We did see in order of what was banned: Cursed Hollow, Alterac Pass, Infernal Shrines, thank God. And I'll get into that in a few moments. And then Sky Temple was banned last. And that leads to us, Hot Stads choosing Dragonshy. And if anyone ever wonders why I say thank God to Infernal Shrines being banned out, it's because I have casted it so many times. Like, so many times. Like, one of the stats I always go back to is, I think, across 2 seasons of NGS, there was about, across 200 I think maybe 2.5 seasons I casted NGS. Across all the series, was like roughly 200 matches. I think it was honestly picked 150 odd times. Like, it was the most picked map by like a country mile, so I got really sick of it. But I love Dragonshy, however, so I'm really happy I get to see Dragonshy. So Hot Stads are off to a really good start for me in terms of how I feel about things. So yeah, we'll see if that holds up for the hero picks. I don't really know what these players play is going to be the big thing. I have seen some of them play before, but I don't know how they're going to... But I don't know what their current roles are, what they play. I have done less kind of scouting than I typically like to. And partially due to laziness, sure. But also because I've been busy. Yeah, that realistically is it. And I don't really look at teams unless they're in my division in terms of what they are playing. Albeit I haven't really played much this season, but as you can hear, we did hear the Dragonshy sound, so let's get into the draft, shall we? When I remember buttons. Oh! I remember my buttons. It's all over. But, wow, quick, I guess Joanna's just a preferred pick for the side of Hot Stads. But if you are going first, you do at least have the advantage of you don't need to ban out Felstad, you don't need to ban out Deathwing. Albeit, if you're scouting, you'll know if people play or not, but we are getting a Joanna Anduin banned 1-2. That's... Like, I expect to see Leoric then, I expect to see Stitches, Garrosh, kind of like some form of separation from Gen.M is like the first thing to know if we see Anduin Joanna, because you don't really want to get walled, and Anduin is just also really good at denying those pick tanks. On the other side of things, good generalist, yeah, Stukov, so I'm expecting variants soon. On the other side of things, it was Chunkrat, who's just very annoying in general, great vision control, really good at just getting poke damage and doing good damage as well, and Dahaka was banned out, which is just global pressure. Speaking of global pressure, Felstad. very strong hero currently. There's no two ways to cut it. I'm surprised he's not getting a little bit more of a nerf this coming patch, but it is what it is, and Oriole is just a good general healer. Really good on this objective in particular, on this map in particular, because around bottom shrine at least you're always fighting around walls. But yeah, there's Leoric, there's Blaze. Blaze was not one I was expecting to see. I'm very surprised we don't have any of the damage picks in the first half of the draft for Gen.M. Really keeping those open. So the question becomes, what do we see next? What ban? Need both damage. Greymane. Oh, I forgot about Sylvanas. I don't know why Greymane jumped to my head. I haven't seen Greymane in yonks, but apparently I'm like, yes, Greymane ban. Urel on the other side of things. I understand, but if you are into a good Urel, you are dying. You are suffering. Honestly, good Urels, I don't ever want to see them. So that is an entirely fair ban. The other side of things, we do see Sylvanas, which, yeah, can do really well. Which, absolutely fair ban. Also really good at the moment. But we see Thrall and Garrosh. So it's on the other side of things that we see the Garrosh, when I was expecting to see it on Gen.M side of things. It's scary taking Blaze into Garrosh. It's going to be like the big thing to note. G'day, Azu. Hope you're doing well. Oh god, yeah, you're just going to spam that, aren't you? As a note to everyone, by the way, I am on a 30-second delay. It is something that is required by NGS cast for NGS casters. Heavy Zerg presence. Heavy Zerg presence. 3 Zerg heroes in this one map. And then Hogger on the other side of things. So 4-man Thrall, but we could also see a 1-1 free from our red team. Kerrigan may struggle into this. Doesn't really have great pull targets. I'm very surprised we see Kerrigan picked when we already knew there was a Thrall Garrosh. Hogger just makes it even harder. And then Zagara, I imagine we're going to see a little corrosive saliva friends at 16, but that's a while off. And honestly, you could main tank Leoric this, weirdly enough. You could main tank Leoric this, but we'll have to see if that's going to be the choice in a few. Right. I don't know. I don't really have any necessary way I lean at the moment. So I don't know. And also, I also do have a rule to myself now that I don't say which team comp I prefer. Largely because, that's how I screw things over. But no, in all honesty, if I don't want to cast a curse on either team, so I don't typically choose which team I prefer at this point. So I'll leave it at that. But in terms of team comps, let's get into things. So we have on the side of Gen.M Esports, this guy on the Leoric. Patience is going to be on Stukov, French. I had to do the movement. Kerrigan, Psycho, Zagara, and rounding things out is Fox on the Blaze. On the other side of things, it's Q-Ball on Thrall. Godly Noob, Garrosh. Mimius is going to be on that Oriole. Kakarot is going to be on Hogger. And rounding things out is King on Foster. And in terms of talents, just for anyone who was wondering, we have Q at level 1 at Kerrigan. Not often picked, but can be interesting. Blaze is going to be unstopped, so we will have main tank Blaze. I would have loved to see a main tank Leoric, but I like seeing the weird stuff. Echo Thrall, auto attack on the... I forgot his name. What is the bird, man? How have I forgotten his name? Falsar, Jesus Christ. Okay, good start for me. We'll get over it. We'll get through it. Goldie Noob really pressing up. I don't like that French was just sitting here. French really needs to be on top of their stacks this game. Because they made the stacks harder to get as of last patch. I think it's 100, 250 now? Yeah, 100, 250 now. It does get easier once you hit the 100, but you've really got to be on top of it to hit that 100 in the first place. They did actually make it easier to stack. Kill enemies within a short range of Kerrigan. Oh, they changed it a lot actually then. I didn't realize. Oh yeah, I got there at the end, people. I was having an absolute brain fart, but don't you worry. But yeah, we do see it is going to be Shrine Starter. French is in an awkward spot. Does get hit, does get tossed. Nice stun by Infofox there, meaning the stun from Goldie Noob doesn't hit, but unfortunately it doesn't matter because you are still tossed into the middle of the team, and that is going to be Kerrigan going down first. And stun from Infofox coming out, but not enough here, and this is kind of what I was talking about. It is a bit scary for the blue team to stay on there. Foul start flying straight onto the shrine, and that is going to be a very quick first Dragon Knight. Which does not bode well, I will be honest. The 2-minute Dragon Knight, it's not very scaled. The 2-minute Dragon Knight is going to be a thing to note because it scales from when you first get into the Dragon Knight and not after that. So, it's not very scaled, but it is still going to be able to do a decent amount of damage. And blue team doesn't have too much to stop it at this point. But you really need Zagara here defending, but Zagara is dead set on this bottom lane, which I don't really like. They're giving up so much here. I didn't actually look at the team placements on the table, however, it's just occurred to me. I don't really care about that, I suppose. Pull combo just a little bit off for French, unfortunately. Oh, they're right next to each other. They're 7th and 8th, respectively. So Gen.M is 7th, Hot Stats is 8. They're literally a point apart. That's really close. Also, thankfully, mid fort did not go down. It did stay up, so good. It could have been better defense, I'll be honest. Losing a full gate and almost half the structure this early on is not fantastic. Also, I was like, oh my god, I'm just going to keep complaining about things. I'd love to see a little bit better vision control of this triangle by both teams. And Zagara has really good vision control for this map. She does have her creep tumors? Oh my god, that's word for word what it is, okay. Leoric gets tossed in, he does get punched, does go for a little swipe. Unfortunately, Mimius does miss via whip, and this guy is going to hold on for dear life. 6 health at the lowest, but no, will barely go down at the end. Nice combo, great stuns, does throw Q-Ball out. Mimius has been abandoned, and that is a trade. Nice double stun once again, Q-Ball taking a lot, pulled back in. Godly noob, oh, French is all the way over gate. French, you just have to go for the kill there at that point, but no, that is going to be another kill. Oh my god, this is a lot of kills right there for no apparent reason, weirdly enough. Oh, there we go, much better. I'm very thirsty today, I have not had much. I had not had enough water today. That's what I'm very quickly finding out now that I'm talking a bunch. Oopsies!
The shrines will soon be active again.
But right. Let me pull Twitch chat back up because I lost you all for a moment. Bottom camp's being done at the same time. Very nice. And Leoric takes out, I guess, why did I say Cassie? I'm not remembering hero names correctly today. Kerrigan did go top to help that out, so actually they can get decent push here, I'd imagine. But there is going to be a fight, a scuffle coming out bottom. Oh, a lot of damage coming out onto Goldie Noob. I see Everfox try to get around to keep them in the silence. Goldie Noob really wants to just get out. Oh my god, torturous. Goldie Noob just constantly slowed. King getting a lot of siege mid once again. French staying on top. There's the roll. And Leoric is getting the turn in. King's just keeping an eye on French, going, I'll get French. But all while Leoric was jumping in the Dragon Knight, and they do jump in that. Pushing bottom. Pushing mid. I like the split. There's too many Zerg in this game. Kerrigan is just going to lurk to see if they can get something cheeky. But we are getting safe rotations from our red team. Dragon Knight's going top. Pulls 2 top, so 3v3 bottom. We do see it is Kerrigan mid. Nice toss, nice whip. Infofox taking so much. That's a bunker. That's so many tools being used to help get Infofox out. Nice slaps right as I think King was going to look for a gust, but Infofox bravely charges back in. But unfortunately, bravely can sometimes be mistaken for, I'm going to say silliness. People know what the phrase actually is, but we did see that charge in did lead to their downfall. Nice dodge by French on the Q.
That beast is not my beloved. Not anymore.
How did Leoric do top? Actually pretty decent, got both the towers. Let's actually have a look at builds, because I have not actually had a look at that for a little bit. relatively standard array of talents. Yeah, the only thing that I'm kind of surprised... Oh, no, but even Decimate's not bad. Because of the kind of how Leoric and Kerrigan have to work. When you get things such as Deadly Calm at 20, if you do choose to go Deadly Calm, it can be really nice. It can be super nice. Oh, and Goldie has been scouted. Great choice there by Patience, just making sure Garrosh can't get the toss onto French. French was a little bit out of position. How are we doing top? Quick top check. And yeah, they're soaking. Blaze is splitting away from the blue team a lot. Gen.M's constantly just like missing their tank in some regards. Oh my god, it's just... Never mind. Decimate amazing to clear out the creep. Kerrigan wants those stacks, but is really just being told not to. Goldie Noob out of position now, away from the team. Nice silence. Is there a pullback? Keep them in the puddle. That is going to be Goldie Noob going down. And we have res, it's just occurred to me, so we're not completely standard talents, but we are just meatballing at Q-Ball. Q-Ball will go down as well. And Kerrigan getting really close to that 100 that they need to start this off. Once they get that 125 stacks for them, and then they get double stacks from hero kills. Which I like that they do incentivize a little bit so it can be early game, then starting to hunt heroes more, because that's really what Kerrigan wants to do. She can pick up the soak as needed. And more importantly, she can really help with those kill secures. As I said, may get rough as we get closer and closer towards level 20. There are some really good tools that stops Kerrigan from getting things, and beefiness is something that stops Kerrigan from getting stacks. But I think actually with how this works now, she should get stacks even when in Dragon Knights? She does! Okay. I like this change a lot, actually. I did not realize Kerrigan changed this way. I meant to know these things. Oh. Good kick. That's the one you want to get rid of. Dragon Knight goes, okay, I'm going this way. Bunker drops. Oh, Infofox is in trouble. Back of the bunker. Nope. 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 Info bunker now. Nope. Too late. Ugh. Oh, that was a rough watch. Poor Blaze. Poor Blase. Going down like that. Just constantly stuck in a little corner. The Dragon Knight really unsure about where it wants to go. Zagara now the one found. Tossed. Root. Dead. It is the Ancestor Wrath. I like the Ancestor Wrath of this build a lot. I know some people prefer... I can't remember what's called all of a sudden. The Rolling Thunder at 7. I just like this one a lot more. Yeah. This one a lot more. There we go, yeah. But 15's for both teams. Does Red just push this down? If the Fox is back to deter, Q-Ball does scout that this camp is being done. I think while that's happening, I think blue team just loses mid. If the Fox does defend, but that's going to just get ran at in any given moment. But good defense for now. Good defense for now. I don't expect it to live long. Literally, I think that's a Sunder amount of damage away. 491, where's Frolifin? 523, yep. Frawl could just technically Sunder it, and it'd be a waste of a Sunder, but he can. Even Garrosh can finish it pretty quick, actually. Oh, a few autos, but Garrosh can finish it. Unfortunately, a little bit of a whiff on the Blaze charge. Goldie Noob goes in. Unstop pop. Goldie Noob can't quite throw. There's a throw. Whip doesn't find its mark. But great bunker. I'm surprised it came out considering he got hit by the Sunder. Triple stun, followed up by a Zagara combo. And, well, Kerrigan combo. Then the Zagara comes out with their... This is so rude. Flying in. Gust? Yeah. Considering all those buttons pushed, I'm really surprised no one of a red team went down there, considering what went in to try and get those kills. Leoric finds an entomb now. We see French is tossed in. That's the one person you don't want tossed under your towers. Tank finds a charge. That is under a silence bottle as well. So what was a Kerrigan kill gets turned around now. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3 kills in favor of Gen.M Esports. And Mimius actually gets crossfired there. A little bit lower than I think they would like. And I don't know. I know you want to res Viv. I know that's why you're just chilling around here, Mimius, but I don't think that's a good idea, especially now they have full vision of what you're doing. Do they just... They can get a good chunk of this building. Oh, Infofox goes with a charge. The silence puddle. That's a low blow, gamer. That's a low blow, and it does really well there, unfortunately. I imagine we see Oriole self-res once her team's here. Not before then. Yeah. Oh, there's a self-res, so a little... As the team's getting back. But it's a little bit too late, unfortunately. Ooh, Whip eats the charge. That is a Sunder to follow. Patience now looking for the slaps. Yep. But unfortunately, we see that is going to be a flight. That is going to be a gust. Nice bunker on the gust, but Patience is going to be, unfortunately, for one in trouble. I'm quite surprised to see Hortipole, and then for Fox is now going to be doing the proverbial pastime that is creating space. And Dragon Knight now shall reduce the team to ash. Yeah, Infofox is very dead. Yep. That counted. That hit like the little... They hit like that little nub here that just like pushed him out. Oh god, I actually hit the core. This guy now in trouble. No, we are gonna Wraith Walk out. What are we even? We're at auto attack build. It looks like Dragon Knight is just going to try open up the lanes a little bit. We're just auto attacking. Yep. Actually, what 16 are we? Attack speed, Will of Heaven. I guess it's on Felstad most of the time, so that makes sense. That is a decent amount of damage. It does stack up pretty quickly onto the Blaze, onto the Leoric. Dragon Knight just chilling. Making sure things can't push too far in. And really, despite Red being up in players at this point, Zakara. Space creation. Zagara's ready just to run it down. She knows probably can't stay here a little bit too much longer, so they are going to back. Oh, Thrall's going flying.
Red team's core is under attack.
Flight? Really? You're using flight to get there? I would not. Interesting. Well, that's really important. Like, Blue team would have been able to see Bellstar land for that flight. If Fox Scouts? Very aggressive camp play here. Especially considering, like, if Red wants a pre-20 fight, that's probably the moment you can get it. So we are just creeping towards 20s. I imagine once these are done, I would like to see Blue go on the hunt, but they are just going to play it the more macro side of things for this map. They are getting camps while they know that hot stats aren't really going to press out too much into the lanes. It's a little bit too scary down 20s. Speaking of the 20s, we do see it's Bolt, Kerrigan. Oh, Controlled Chaos? Yeah, Controlled Chaos. So the single slaps, more upgrade I'm very surprised about. Deals 50% more damage, takedowns reduces cooldown by 25 seconds. Let's see, how long cooldown? 80. If you get 3 kills, it's basically back. If it's 2 kills, it's mostly back.
The red team's core is in peril.
We are pushing to end. Oh, there's a pull. Hits one. Unfortunately, Zagara is going to become stoned, and less like that, it is going to be a quick turnaround as 20s are now through. But that is going to be Hogger in return. There is Rez. Wind tunnel into the corner. One slap, keeping everyone. A second slap, keeping everyone away. Hogger goes diving in. Right as the last slap tries comes out from Patience. The Patience out is going to be one in trouble. Does go down next. Infofox in the middle of things, just living as long as they can. But Psycho is tossed in. And that is going to be a hog wild. No control going down. Infofox barely falling short on that charge. King at 399 alpha loss. And then we see it is going to be this guy going down afterwards. Leoric. And what was a very good position for the blue team was a 5-man kill. Good old team wipe in favor of Hot Stats, who loses no one there. And instead of just ending, we are going to start with that objective first and then try to go through mid. Unfortunately, Kerrigan went down so early that fight. Just a little bit too greedy, got hit by the core mechanic. So Dragon Knight can just push mid. And actually Hot Stats have a really good push into Gen.M here. Kerrigan may just need to throw her body on the power to see if it can slow the red team down even a little bit. But everyone else is still a good 10 to 15 seconds out. Leoric is nearly back. Leoric needs a little bit more drainage. There we go. French kicked back into core, and now we've really got to get going. Big slap number 1 from Patience. Big slap number 2 just before they can get tossed. Speaking about toss, Goalie Noob tosses French out. French goes in. There's a third slap, and that is going to be Kerrigan absolutely getting dropped. Felstar being trapped in the one place they don't want to be, but does roll out, does win tunnel people back into the core, and the core will not survive much longer. No, it will not. And that is game number 1, going over to the side of Hot's Dads. Unless I have the teams the wrong way, then it's the other way around, but I don't think I do. Interesting map number 1. Really good stuff by Hot's Dads there. Had a really good early game, is like the first thing to know. Really good early game. Middle game did pretty heavily swing in Gen.M's favor. They actually got bottom open at a really good time. However, a little bit too greedy into that level 20 area. Did unfortunately have a full team wipe, and just like that, it was game over. Which really is reductive of how that game went. It was super close. We can see it was 11-15. Structures were very similar throughout, if I recall correct. Oh no. Gen.M definitely had the structure advantage. They had top fort down, bottom fort, bottom keep. And just before that last push, Hot's Dads only had middle fort down. So it was a really good comeback by... It's hard to say a comeback. It was a really good closing there by Hot's Dads. Really unfortunate timing for Gen.M, just because it was right as the Dragon Knight was spawning, and they weren't able to all get up in time. Which, good patience by Kerrigan. I thought she had to go on a little bit sooner in that last bit, but she proved, like, still maybe it didn't, but she was patient enough, and they nearly actually turned it around. They nearly got the Felstar kill straight out of the Dragon Knight at the end. However, wasn't quite able to get there. And we can see in terms of stats, Thrall actually had top damage, 50,000 compared to the 44,000 from Zagara. In terms of Sock, 160k Siege, 160k from Felstar, and 130k from Leoric, with Soak being 18k Hogger, 16k Leoric. And in terms of talents, interesting to see Meltdown and Heat Treatment. I guess you're getting meatballed a lot. These two are really good in tandem if you do have 1, 2, 3 heroes just hugging you basically most of the map. So I actually do like those pickups here into a very death-bally frontline that was being held by Hot's Dads. I'm never really a fan of seeing Resurrect. I don't think it really mattered that series, I'll be honest. I think the one time that Oriole did Resurrect was just one time I saw Oriole Resurrect was just after the bottom keep push, where it was basically down anyway. But I do like seeing Empathic Link, not Empathetic Link, Empathic Link. Which, Empathic Link is really good when you have high damage bruisers, who will inherently be taking a decent amount of damage. Things like Thrall, Hogger, Sonya is a really good one for it. But those are the main ones, from what I can recall correctly. But everything else, yeah, kind of standard. I'm very curious about Tyrant more. I see the angle, but I think it's called Pack Tactics or Pack Leader. The one where whatever your W is shooting does more damage, I do really like, however, so balanced out. It looks like, if I go back to our map view screen, we will be having a Tomb of the Spider Queen. Which I've seen this a lot. And it's one that can go either way. So it is map picked by Gen.M. It's one that could either take like 10 years. And for Fox says we took map pick. Cool. Yep, I was right. It's one that can either take 10 years or take like 10 minutes. Unfortunately, with every time I've casted it recently, it's been on the 10-year side of things as opposed to the 10-minute side of things. Which sucks. I've just realized there's so many players who've just swapped out for Gen.M. So, oh no, only one? Oh, 2. Storm and Greek Fire in. And I don't remember well enough to know who was swapped out, so that's unfortunate. But it looks like our side of Hot's Dads is going to be the same for this series. For this map. Yes. Yes, this map. Oh gosh! I'm feeling old today. And it looks like we are just going to be waiting a little bit for some stuff to happen for one of the players, so they will be back shortly. I'm just going to put in a cheeky casters ready in a few moments as well. And I don't know, this map, like normally right here I like to say what I like to talk about what I want to see differently compared to map number 1. Especially for the losing team, because they have a team that lost, so something may have gone wrong, something may have just gone particularly right for the other team, or maybe it was certain playstyles. But considering the last map was really close up till the end, there's nothing I can really say on that this time around. Both teams executed their comps pretty dang well. There's no two ways about it. Like, the only thing I can, like, vaguely think of off the top of my head is that, like, just gonna be a little bit more careful about fighting under core. that really was the backbreaker right there at the end. Just unfortunate timing for the core to get a nice freeze onto whatever their name is. Kerrigan. This is a better Kerrigan map, however, if that is so chosen to be run. But knowing it's a better Kerrigan map, we may see it banned out, because it actually did do pretty well last game, and they have made it easier for Kerrigan to stack. She just needs to be in the vicinity of things, as opposed to just having to get the Q and it dying within 1.5 seconds of being queued, I believe was how it worked before. So yeah, I'd like to see Kerrigan again. Once again, you can see Echo Thrall here as well. Yeah, but I imagine we're going to see very similar bans. Valstad did really well last game. It was Valstad having that percent damage was just kind of eating the frontliners a little bit. But really the big killer was that constant CC that could be pumped out with the Sunder Thrall, with the Hogger just being Hogger, and Garrosh as well having his own thing. There's a lot that need to be dealt with. And I actually liked the Blaze choice in terms of what they did, because it really helped for sustain. I'm going to say casters ready now, because it looks like one of the teams is back. I've just like gotten really hungry all of a sudden, and I have a craving, and now my mouth is watering a lot. Which is really inconvenient, because I don't want to give you guys like mouth sound ASMR. So I keep like moving away from the microphone when I have to like so I don't give you guys that little audio issue. I say audio issue. Some people like it. Don't know why. But not giving that away for free. But we will be starting in a few moments. There's the Tomb of the Spider Queen sound. So let's get into draft, shall we? So, what shall we see this time? Did the bans change? Nope, Junkrat's still banned first. Falstad, yeah, Falstad was just a problem last game. Having a just easy global is such an issue. I don't think we see Dahaka banned here this time is the only difference. I could be wrong. But I don't know Storm and Greek's heroes. I say that like I know what the other heroes are. I don't. I really don't. I'm just making it up. But it is still Dahaka banned, so we are still concerned about that one. And what is the last ban of this first set gonna be? So Anduin Joe was banned out last time by Gen.M. They are gonna ban the Joe again. Do we see an Anduin first pick? Big Stinky Dragon Deathwing? Thrall. Yep, Thrall did really well, map number 1, may as well bring it back. But now what's on the other side of things? I know Greek Fire liked Lucio for a while. Don't know if I still do. Not taking the heavy frontliner this time, we see Tychus, which can do really well into heavy frontline, but if there's too much beef, he does, weirdly enough, have some issues. And Leoric once again. Yeah, Leoric did well last game. Please do the off-laner double soak with the 4-man just shoving bottom. I love that. My team doesn't let it happen. Well, my team doesn't intentionally do it. It just ends up working out that way. Do your worst, says Uriel. Which Uriel was banned out last time, so I'll be I love seeing Uriel, hate playing into it. So I wish the team good luck. Not my problem. Yeah. But we see Tassadar banned out. And Garrosh rounding out for comms. May? Love the Snitches. And Zagara. Interesting we see Zagara return again. Healer is still up for Gen.M. Well, Healer still needs to be picked for Gen.M, I should say. Which is a really weird one to leave last. Normally you want your flex, like a damage or an offlaner last, but no, not this time. Interesting. Jaina, ETC. Ooh, a little bit of wombo action, okay. So, Gen.M has to be really quick on their answers. They need to get those hooks, they need to get the picks, and they need to capitalize on them. So we're going to see some healer with, hopefully we see some healer with some form of lockdown. Tyrande can work and is good currently. Lucio is what I expected to see Greek pick, but also kind of what I wasn't, I kind of hoped we didn't see Lucio here. Weirdly enough. We don't really have that lockdown for after Stitches gets for hook. That's my big concern. They can make it work. I'm not saying it can't work. I'm just saying they have to be a lot more onto it with how they're building this comp, but we'll have to see how it goes. I think it honestly can go either way again, though. It does depend on how much Infofox hits their hooks today. It's going to be the big thing, so let's hope Infofox does. I want to see a map number 3. I don't want this to just be a 2-0. I prefer a good full series where people both fight it out a little bit and just have a good time. But we'll have to see how that goes as we get into map number 2. Tomb of the Spider Queen. So, on the God, I was thinking Spider, wasn't I? Yep. On the side of Gen.M Esports. N? Really? M. We have Greek Fire on the Lucio, Fist Guy, Leoric, Infofox, Stitches, Storm, Tychus, and Psycho is back on the Zagara. On the other side of things, we do see it's Kakarot on the Uriel, Goldie Noob, ETC, Cue-Ball on that. Oh, that's bad timing. Mimius is going to be on Orioles, like computer, you're going to be fine. I know I need to replace parts soon, but geez, I'm getting concerned. And King is going to be rounding things out with Jaina. That's her name. So pretty good wave. So both teams are pretty good wave clear. I'd say Jaina's is better. Well, the red teams is better just because Jaina can clear out waves really easily. Kakarot goes flying over the wall. We see a decent stun chain onto Infofox. Infofox not moving for a most fair health bar worth of damage, and that's scary. Early on scary if you're Infofox going, oh god, I couldn't move for honestly a good 5 seconds. In saying that, he couldn't move for about 4 or 5 seconds and lived. Jaina did use all her buttons already on top, so that's something you need to know. Infofox is barely holding on once again. Oh no. Really well coordinated stun chain by Hotstar. It's really great setup from Cue-Ball and Goldie Noob. We are already at a gem advantage. It's weird saying we're already at a gem advantage for one team, but yeah. Gen.M is being denied some stuff, and we're going to get a pause, so I'm going to swap back here. Which, interesting. Technical difficulties has been called by Cue-Ball. My nose was itchy, so it's okay. Gets called by Greek, so it all balances out at the end. I'm not reading that one out. I've decided I'm not reading all of that chat out. Okay. Looks like they'll be reading in a few moments. Yep, Kakarot says they're back. So it was just a little tech issue that just didn't pop through on the stream. So one team is ready. I think we're just going to be waiting on the other. No, they're more talking about referencing popular media now. Looks like both teams are ready. We're counting down from 10. Right on. Good hook. Doesn't actually get into the tower range, which is kind of crazy. That's barely out. That must have been barely outside. I do like that Bruce Camp's already being started by our blue team over here. Greek Fire is gonna run straight past Goldie Noob. Gonna be fine. Nothing to worry about. What is happening up here? Whip pushes in for Fox's way is all I could gather as I barely moved up here. But nothing can be found. I should open up talents while I think about it. We have E on why is this not... Why have I seen E Stitches so much? Is Savor Flavor just currently for play? Is there some Stitches player in chat who knows why on earth we see Savor Flavor? Well, so what's happening down here? This guy's getting bullied. And he goes down. I don't think you can grab those gems, unfortunately, if you install. We see heavily just sitting on like they're just sitting directly on top of us. They're not letting Goldie Noob step up for it. Ooh, slide a little bit short from the noob. Sorry, they're not letting Storm step up for it, I should say. Minions getting cleared out. My minions. We're seeing a very good neutral from both teams. It's a little bit better on the red side so far. They actually got a pretty good, healthy gem lead. Oh, that's a 18, 26 to 42. Yeah, they've got almost double. Oh, that's a little bit of hyperbole. But 4 gems being missed once again for the blue team. They're having to play really scared. It's really going to bite them in the long term. Red has turn-in. King not allowed to turn in. Meanwhile, Kakarot is allowed to turn in. Free gems to turn in. Yeah, so this guy needs to be really careful this game. If a furry team is just going to make those aggressive rotations. Goldie Noob not allowed to turn in yet. And Lucio is going to do the Lucio thing of being annoying as possible. And for Fox, are we going to get stunned? No. God, I imagine blue team's like, we need high five like 10 years ago. Which, yeah, they do need high five pretty soon. A little bit of split focus here. We did see Storm was the original target, but Infofox stopped anything that could happen there from happening. And Greek Fire is just keeping an eye on this objective, as Lucio really hard to stop, just like from doing it. Albeit Oriole's one of the better ones too, though. If she hits a whip, Greek Fire may look like a little bit of a fool, but ultimately should be fine. Storm turns in. Actually, both teams have turned in now. Infofox gets theirs. This guy really wants to get it in, but unfortunately cannot. Infofox, now the one in trouble, does pop trait. Shambling Horror, I think it's called, to get out. Barely stops Q-Ball in time. Q-Ball taking a lot of damage there for that little interaction. And now blue, what do we need to turn in? I believe it's just... No, unfortunately it is both Psycho and this guy. They don't really have that choice of just one or the other. Goldie Noob hits 20, Q-Ball 26. Really staying on top of things, making sure no one's able to get turned in. Both teams are really aggressive on making sure no one is able to get that first objective. Nope, this guy was unable to. In terms of sevens, I don't know URL builds. I can't really comment on it. I know Holy Avenger is one style of the builds that I know URL's like. I'm more a hammer guy. I like the move speed on hammer. But I know if you're really good at hitting those jumps on URL, pick that level 7. Because you could chain a lot of damage really quickly. On the other side of things, Boombox I like to see. A little bit of vision tool. There's so much vision on the blue side, it's a weird thing. Infofox stops Mimius from turning in. This guy's not going to be able to turn in his 15. Thrall left it too late. I'm so sorry I caught that one on camera, cue ball. Oh no. I had a feeling, I had the saddest feeling when I didn't see a move after a certain point. I'm like, oh no, this one's getting done, isn't it? Yep. But that will be first Weaver phase 6 minutes into the game. That's actually a bit more scaled than typical for this map. So they can do a decent amount of damage early on. King taking more than I think they would. They're trying to do a lot of damage here, but being forced out. Commandeer Odin pops. We do see it also is going to be also devouring more Gorge, Entomb, and High Five. High Five being the important one. Nice. Move speed doing a lot, but we do see that speed medal was picked by Goldie Noob. Lucio trying to slow them down. That is going to be Earthquake. I don't actually like that hook. I think that one means Goldie Noob gets to live. 4-man Ring of Frost. But everyone was rooted, so, well, everyone was in more, so only one person goes down. I think that hook saved Goldie Noob. It's like the really unfortunate thing. It's the really unfortunate thing. And we see 97 gems now on the red side of things. And camp being started by Storm. This guy has 10. And that is going to be first turn in for the side of Hot Stats. I imagine they still have a lot of gems. If I remember which of these buttons is objective, yeah. What, 28, 38, 26 is 64, 68, 69. Nice. Hook on Goldie Noob once again. And Entomb finds King. King just knows they're going to have to start blasting. Grenade. They go down. Mimius wants that. I can feel it in their bones. But Gorge is still available. Not the person I would have gorged, because we see Rez coming out now. Should have kind of known Rez was going to happen. But it is what it is. It's now back up, and be careful about the Mosh, because Goldie Noob does have that available. And all 5 red team members are mid. Nice route. Cubal 43 gems. Ooh, you got to be careful if you Cubal. And Zagaro takes down top. We see bottom getting relatively low. This guy doesn't quite find the mark with his bucket. That's unfortunate. I imagine we see a Mosh here soon. No, we do not. And now 79 available for the red team. Both teams have turned in. This guy is needed, however. And I think that is just going to be back-to-back turn-ins for the red side. Blue was able to get a good number of their gems off of them as well. So, it is fine. It's defendable. You haven't lost anyone yet. It is 1 kill to 2 in favor of Hot Stats. No structures lost yet. Nice. Good grenade, however. Infofox not quite getting hit with the Ring of Frost. There is a lot of separation. Nice hook. That's Gorge now coming out onto Frolithin. Dump behind fort is slow. Does have the kill onto Infofox. Yes, they do. This guy now stuck in the middle of things. Going to live as long as he can. Goldie Noob actually for one really low in that exchange. And I thought we were about to have another 1-for-1 trade, but apparently not this time. I guess in terms of objective phase, it's really good getting rid of Thrall. He has a decent amount of push. And in terms of losing Stitches, yeah, it's not the worst. It's not great, but it's not the worst. You can't hold the space anymore, but you can clear objective pretty quick. King being chased down. Is Stitches Horde? I don't know, wow. Is Stitches Horde? I didn't think that was the case. I thought he was kind of like unaffiliated. Or, I guess Forsaken is Horde, right? But he's a shambling horror. I don't know. Oh god, poor Infofox. Goldie Noob is going to be looking. Not CDR at 13. Interesting. No, sorry, not Encore at 13. Via mic check? Face melt? Face melt. So, bigger slow. This guy turning in as 29. Who else needs to turn in? I believe it's Zagara. Yes, it is, because that's Blue Web Weavers now coming down. Great hook. Stun finds its mark. We do see the unstop. Does make a little bit of distance, but Cue Ball, we did see trade out last time. Storm doing as much as they can. Is there in tomb? Nope, but the Moore does find Thrall hooked in once again. Is basically back to full. Nice Gorge. As I say, nice Gorge. It wasn't correct. Nice Mosh. But we do see this guy does pick up gems. And while there's such good hooks and Gorges, but Stitches is a horde boss in Duskwood. Thank you. I just don't know. Wow. Very much. Oh. I was saying, Cue Ball has been gained so many times that he just keeps healing up. But he may live this time. 130 at the loss. 100 at the loss. 60. But no Thrall kill. Mimius did freeze themselves, by the way, in the backline. This guy is going to go see what they can do to Golly Noob. Turn around 130. Lowest 30 at the loss for this guy, but he gets to live as well. All while we do see it has been Web Weavers pushing up. Blue had a lot to go, so it didn't really... Bottom lane had a lot to go for Gen.M, so it didn't really do much. And even top got a gate open, that's about it. So, structure advantage in favor of the red team of Hot Stads throughout that. And Kakarot now has to be a little bit careful. Gorge? Nope, jump. Hook misses! That's unfortunate if you're in for Fox. And this is where the move speed would have mattered, actually. Golly just walking up, slapping once. Now, if you're the blue team, you know this is not where you can really be. Nice unstop. You want those 21 gems off this guy? And once again, people keep getting out. That Gorge is not looking very effective this series. It's weird to see such an ineffective feeling Gorge. If anyone knows what I mean, like, usually off the back of it, if you get them under keep, you can see people go down. I don't think we've seen a single kill off of Gorge. Maybe we have seen one, but it doesn't have that usual success rate that you do expect to see with Gorge nowadays. Gorge is a pretty consistent kill confirm. And that is just Fort getting melted before anyone gets it. Are we Icy Veins? No, we are not. We are Big Blizzard. Turn around, Blue, please. Do not let Big Blizzard win. This guy is trying his best to get out. Does have Wraith Walk, but we'll be fine. Are we extended Wraith Walk? No, we're auto attack build again. Nice use of Odin. Great for clear out. Down to 1 minute. Unfortunate for Infofox. I didn't move the camera this way more. My camera work is doing poopy. Nice Gorge from the Stitches here. ETC gets out once again. And that's Leoric going down. Oh, that's a hook on a Thrall. Does finally get a kill off it. Nice free man. More, actually. Is there anything that can really happen out of this? A lot of damage, but no kills. Mimius getting really low. Does go down Sagara. King hooked in. Does get the Blizzard onto all 4 members of the blue team. And actually is very close to getting Frostbite done. Just 155 off. Once that gets done, they will have their Mythic. And that's when they can move for Ice Block. Side note, mid went down because it's a big wave. And now this is what feels like overchasing. Hook misses. Unfortunate. Turn it available for blue. But they really need to manage their lanes. Like, Zagara is trying to push bottom up, or mid up. They need for turn in. They could have done boss here if they went immediately to it. But they've taken so long, unfortunately. I think Greek Fire alone is turn in. Yeah. ETC. Nice grenade. Dismounting. Good slow. Golly Noob going to a wave. Does get hooked. Unfortunately gets stuck on the wall. But that is still going to be the death of ETC. It is technically reasonable by Oriole. Oriole can sneak down here at some point to do so. But that means if there is a team fight top, you'll be without your Oriole, and that makes things a bit harder. Of course, that can be balanced out if only 3 of the blue team members go top. But no, they're backing up. They're just sacking top keep. Fair enough. I'd like to see Leoric stay and just kind of side soak lanes. No, don't all go top. Yeah. But don't go down. Be ready to run. That's probably your cue to run. Oh, actually, they're fine. Honestly, would love to see blue just keep pushing top. And we do actually see that is going to be the case. That is going to be Storm dropping the Commandeer Odin. So that is heavy resource commitment to top now. And actually that's all people coming up top. ETC has now respawned. No res was used. So that is available. 19 to 19. Slide does get Storm. And actually Storm has been the one who's been interrupting the moshes so far. They need to be quite careful about not having someone go down. Psycho does get found. And that is a dead Zagara. The chase down just has been so good from the red team both these games. They just stick. Storm is going to go down there. I think Greek needs to peel off. I don't think there's much you can do about Infofox at this point. This guy in an interesting spot. Oh, has been seen. Look, I know this is happening. Like, there's two things happening here. This guy, I think, is out at this point. Infofox is still a bit stuck. Boss call is coming in. What? We're just gonna look at this. Oh, hi, ETC. ETC ruining for 1v1. ETC, no honor. Ruined for 1v1. Lucio's about to stick the head in and eat a lot of damage. Nope, they decided against it. Which is smart. I would not stick my head in there either. The only fortunate thing here is Red can't back-to-back boss turn in. There is a low gem count for both teams at the moment. Both teams actually are needing 65 turned in before they can get the objective itself. So it's still going to be a big push. Blue does have a difference this time compared to last map of they will have they have 4 people up already, and Commandeer Odin is getting dropped out the gate, and we see big red button. In fact, we see a few ults, but we'll talk about that soon. This guy does get jumped on, and more is going to lock ETC in. Not too much going to happen from that, though. This guy having to back all the way out. Is it even shields? No, it is CDR. And this means it's actually a good defense from blue. If a Fox thinking about looking for a hook, I can see he's like, oh, I could just run up here, do a cheeky whoop, whoop, whoop. Find a hook. But no, not this time. But now it is something that blue needs to be cognizant of. There is going to be constant catapult pressure top. And they need to make sure that doesn't push in too fast. So they're going to go a little bit on the hunt and seeing what they can find up with their hooks. Unfortunately, Oriel's one of the best ones for them to find. No move speed really, but this guy is going to be going in. We do see that he's just draining all the while. Entomb a little bit. Oh, actually, Entomb is up. Ring of Frost doesn't quite find anyone. Jaina is going to be Entomb this time. Leoric finds a good... Not Leoric, but it was great mosh found by Godly New, but can't find anyone. That is King rushing back in, as has been rezzed with the upgraded res. And that does matter this time, as we do see it is Fox going down. Trade up from Urel. Actually, this guy is soon to follow her over another 22 drop. Storm getting low. That is going to be the completion of Quest from Brawl, as he is just absolutely doing damage this fight. Greek Fire and Psycho both hit by the Slow of King. That is going to be the finishing of the kills. And that actually should be game. Ignore this. Run straight through. This guy calls GG. He knows what's up. And that is going to be Red running at the core. And what was a pretty convincing 2-0. Well, actually, it was a pretty well fought 2-0. In all honesty. It does take him a while to get through structure. Jenna doesn't have Icy Vein, so it does take a little bit. There was just a little bit too much sloppiness from the blue team in terms of getting the gems. For him, missed out on a lot. But they were also getting punished quite heavily, so it's not like it's an easy, they could stay in and will be fine. They needed to be really careful about those things. But in terms of statistics and such, we do see that it is, in terms of hero damage, Thrall once again have the most hero damage, 78,000, Tychus 65,000. In terms of siege, Jaina 162k compared to Zagara's 141. And I'm going to actually go and whisper someone. I should change. I'm not going to get confused at the moment. Apologies. Where's the right scene? Let's hide everything. What am I looking for? Game summary. Sorry, I'm just going to reply. In terms of other stats, healing, great by Oriole. Lucio did really well, but this is what I was talking about. We did see... This is what I was talking about before the game. Stitches does... It was actually finding the hooks quite frequently as well, but they just didn't really have the constant lockdown afterwards to punish those hooks. As much as I liked seeing Lucio played, he didn't really have that lockdown that we see from like Malfurion, Anduin, or Tyrande for something as that, where we did see Thrall escape frequently, ETC escape pretty well as well. Like, it was just really hard to keep someone locked down under those towers so they're able to get out each and every time. I think the only one that didn't really get out was when Oriole was hooked, but she has res, so it balances out. And in terms of talents, everything got a standard across the board. I'm very surprised to see Face Melt on ETC. More often than not, recently we see Encore, which is the cooldown reduction on your heroic that drops a little boombox afterwards. So yeah, I did enjoy that series a lot though. It was a fun series to see. Let me change it here. And let me update the score. So I did say it to the teams, I won't be doing interviews, unfortunately. I get really tired as of late. I did have like back-to-back flu then COVIDs, so I run out of energy really easily, and it sucks. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Like, I can't argue with that. So, I'm going to be calling it here, but it was a really fun series to watch. Both maps really competitive, and both teams have finding windows to actually get good pushing. Map number 1 was definitely much closer. We did see really solid gameplay by Gen.M, actually nearly getting through to the core bottom, but just making a fumble at the end. And this map, there was just a little bit of laxity on getting those gems, but both teams guarded turn-ins really well. It was really active in making sure that the other team was struggling to get those turn-ins. But that is going to be me. I'm going to raid on over... Let's raid on over to Chrono. I've never raided Chrono before, but no worries, Mimius. Thanks for... It was fun games to watch. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this screen here. I'm going to push this raid button. And I'm going to raid on over... actually, he's got a be right back screen up. Maybe I don't... Maybe I don't raid the person with a be right back screen up, eh? Let's mute this. So, let me double check. 11 Eastern. Yeah, that's a while. We're not raiding there. Rodney does NGS. Let's raid Rodney. Let's raid the smaller ones. I could put it through to Alora, but she's doing well enough. I could put it through to... Oh, what's his face? Sheg, but he's also doing well. So I'm going to put it over Rodney. Rodney also does NGS. He has Heroic Division on Rodney's Imaginary Friends. So, yeah. I like him a lot. He's a good person. And to everyone who joined, it was a really good series to watch. Thank you to both Gen.M Esports and Hotstad. Sorry for no interview, but again, I'm really tired just because of how everything goes, and I've got a few things to do after this, so I don't have that time, but that'll be me. To everyone watching, I wish you good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending where I'm in the world, because time zones, very a bit weird. I'll be back tomorrow with another Division A cast, which I believe is, if I have a look, I can see, which will be... Heavy Greek versus Citrus Coloured Squash. So I'll see you all then. I'll see everyone later. Take care all. As I remember how to end a stream. There we go. That's my ending screen.